Go back then to Ukraine. Andy Burnham, the Prime Minister, continuing his visit there, and at the same time an advisor to the Russian government says factories in the UK producing drones for Ukraine could come under attack after the Prime Minister agreed to share long-range missile blueprints with the country. Andrew Levi is a former senior British diplomat who's posted in Moscow. Andrew, morning.
Good morning.
These threats coming from an advisor to the Kremlin saying a semi-military response might be used against drone factories. How concerned should we be?
We should always be concerned about President Putin. When he's desperate, he's dangerous. And when he isn't desperate, he's dangerous because he's focused on his power, his personal survival, his personal huge wealth. And he has some deeply ingrained ideas, along with his former KGB colleagues, about what Russian greatness means. And all of that feeds into a very dangerous cocktail, which we've seen have its effect over the last years, invading Ukraine in 2014, for example, invading Georgia in 2008 before that, and of course the 2022 invasion. So we should be concerned, we should be vigilant, we should be hardening our security, but most of all, we should be supporting Ukraine because they are the front line of our defence right now.
Yeah, and Andy Burnham also making comments to say Russia is running out of options. How correct is that?
Yeah, I mean, Russia, the big option for Russia in terms of keeping things going is a certain amount of manipulation internally, but also a great deal of support that they're getting from China. Carefully calibrated, I think, but still their war machine wouldn't really be operating anymore without China's technology and assistance, and the fact that they're increasingly relying on North Korean troops actually fighting for them.
And in terms of getting anywhere closer to the end of this conflict, Andrew, what are your predictions here?
The further that Putin pushes himself, it's all him doing it to himself, pushes himself into a corner, the more likely it is that there will be some kind of crisis in Russia. We've seen it in Russian history, 1905, they lost a war to Japan and there was a revolution. 1917, big crisis on the front in the First World War. There was the famous revolution of 1917. We've seen crises in history. Putin could suddenly, collapse. His regime could suddenly collapse. But in the meantime, he's going to use every lever he's got to keep in power because he fears, no doubt rightly, that he would lose his liberty and probably his life if he ever left power.
Andrew, we're grateful for your time this morning. Thank you for that. Andrew Levi, former senior British diplomat who was formerly posted in Moscow.